sound check, sound check. Anybody who's live with us already, there is the Capital City Invitational Tournament going on. So they are running a few minutes behind, 20 seconds left in this semifinal U18 A game. They just had a little bit of a hairball behind the bench and a bunch of players got thrown out. But so the clock is running here, and I'll be back to join everybody when we're ready to get underway with Game 3 between the Kraken and the Flames. Alrighty, folks. Welcome to High Button Sports this afternoon, or I guess rather this morning, here at the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton. Game 3 between the Kraken and the Flames. Series tied at 1 after the Kraken won at home last night, or I guess kind of at home, not their usual home at the Q-Plex, but in Quispam nonetheless. Flames looking to bounce back here at home this morning. Chason back in net for the Kraken, and Yeoman's down at the Flames end. Puck deep in the Kraken zone. Boulier gets it stripped off by Lawrence. Lawrence taps it towards net, and Chason will hang on to that. Lawrence in to take this draw. She wins it back to Boursier. Boursier is going to dump it into the corner. Picked up behind the net by the Kraken. Here's LeBlanc. She sends it up the right-hand side. Blocked by Nelson and chipped back to the corner. Here's Richard. She's nearly stripped off the puck. From her knees, gets it out in the neutral zone. Flames are offside. Need to tag up here. Finally comes back into the neutral zone. Mills softly taps that one in. Yeomans leaves it for Boursier. Boursier behind the net. Looks up her left side. Finds Sommers. Sommers, she's going to dump it. Easton and Sommers going in to put pressure. Leger behind the net, wraps it around. Pinched by Daggle, keeps it in. Kimball stepped up, picked up that puck, misses the net on her shot though. Now Daggle sends it down low. Boulier is going to grab that. Boulier tries going up the left side. That's pinched off by Cook. Now Johnstone working below the goal line. She's peeled off the puck by Mills. Reverse the other direction. Daggle with a deep pinch keeps it in. Now Boulier again is going to try moving up the left-hand side. Kimball backs out of the zone. Kimball cross ice to Daggle. Chip up to Cook. Cook. She was looking for a drop pass to Polchis. Polchis too close to her. Unable to get the shot off. Puck tied up here in the corner. Polchis and Cook trying to knock it free. Gilliland's in there too. Finally wrapped out. Feltmate's going to pinch that one off though. Send it back below the goal line. Polchis should be here first. Polchis has Boursier at the blue line. She centers it instead. On the stick of Feltmate. A little too hot to handle. Still stays in the zone though. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the first period. No score. Shots on goal showing 2-1 in favor of the Kraken so far. Here's Cook. Cook's walking into the slot. Backhand on net. Didn't get enough on that one. It's played softly off to the side. Puck still battling along the wall here. Feltmate holding the line. Finally skips past. Nelson's there. That's Somerville. She dumps it in, goes for a line change. Fresh batch of Kraken out here, all collide into each other. Duguay. Here's Bex. Tries chipping it to herself off the wall. Picked up by Lawrence. Lawrence sends it back to Waterhouse. To Daggle. Daggle up the middle to Nelson. Nelson looked like she was just trying to tap that into the zone, but that was picked off. And that one's going to go for icing against the Kraken, so face-off will come back to the right of Chason. And it'll be Nelson against LeBlanc to take the draw. LeBlanc tossed out, taken over by Wilcox. Back to Waterhouse. Cross ice to Daigle. Daigle didn't get all that one like she usually does. Ends up off in the corner, missed the net. Nelson, centering puck. Lawrence just out of her reach. Lawrence still with it. Backhands it towards the net. Nelson takes a stab at it. Sorry, that was Doolin took a stab at it. Puck along the wall. Lawrence and Nelson trying to get it free. Kraken playing it on the left-hand side. Puck goes out of play. And we're at the 15-15 mark here of the first period. No score. Game 3 of the best-of-5 series. Tied at 1 apiece. Flames won here at home on Friday night. And Kraken returned the favor last night to even the series. Here come the Kraken in the neutral zone. Gets on the stick of Kimball. She dumps it back in. Johnstone and Somers going to put pressure on Little. Little sends it behind the net. Pinch on the left side this time by Boursier. She keeps it in. Kraken up into the neutral zone. Somers got a stick on it. Skips past Johnstone. Now Ricketson. She's by herself. Kimball retrieves it. Goes across to Boursier. Boursier is going to gain the red line and throw it down. Bunch of Flames going for a change. Cook in to put pressure on it. Cook's taken down. Away from the puck, but nothing comes of it. Daigle. She gets it over the blue line. Polchis and Cook got to go fetch it now. Polchis knocks it free. Pinched by Feltmate. Moves softly towards the net, but right onto the stick of the Kraken. Here's Somerville. It's Dickey. Dickey's by herself. The rest of the Kraken gone for a change. Thrown on net. Bobbled a little bit, so Yeomans will hang on to that one. And we'll take the face-off in the Flames' end. And Nelson, Doolin, Lawrence jump over the bench here for the Flames. Lawrence in to take it against LeBlanc. One over to the side wall. Feltmate reverses it behind the net. Daigle will get there. She's peeled off by Bex. Back the other way from Feltmate. Wilcox presses her out. Now back to the blue line. Soft one by Richard. It's going to be held on to by Yeomans. And we'll have another face-off here in the Flames' end. No score here to start. 13:36 in the first period. Shots on goal showing 4-2 in favor of the Kraken so far here. Face-off one back to Boursier. She sends it for Waterhouse by the net. It's bouncing around. Now he's coming up the right-hand side. Here's Lawrence. She centers it for Doolin. Doolin can't quite grab it. She's going to win the race to the corner against Little, though. Little and Doolin battling it out in the corner. Lawrence there trying to pick it out, and she does. Lawrence, she throws it towards the net. Johnstone's going to pick it up in the other corner and send it back below the goal line. Back on the stick of Little. Little takes a few steps. That's picked off by Smith. Smith came in hot. Couldn't quite keep it on her stick, though. Back down below the goal line. Here's Eason. Eason couldn't get it deep. Now Ricketson's going to exit the zone for the Kraken. Waterhouse backhands it back into the neutral zone. Eason trying to move it forward. Gillen, Somerville, Johnstone gets it back. Skips over the stick of Smith into the Kraken zone. Couple of Flames head for a change. Captain Folks back on the ice. Tried tipping that one ahead to Smith, but didn't get anywhere. Puck below the goal line in the Flame zone. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse and Folks trying to fish it out. Kraken come out with it. Centering puck into the slot. Recovered by Eason. Eason, she's going to move that up to Folks and go to the bench. Eason and Smith get off the ice. Here's Cook. Just out of her reach. Now Kimball. Kimball tries dumping it in. Didn't get much of that. And it's picked off. Back in the neutral zone again. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc moves into the Flames end. Daigle's going to pick up a puck below the goal line and come back the other way. Up the right side for Cook. Cook chips it ahead. Polchis tried to pull it ahead herself, but couldn't. Now Wilcox in over the blue line. Below the Flames goal line again. Daigle to Kimball. Kimball up the right side to Cook. Duguay couldn't quite hold the blue line. And here's our number 20. I forgot to find out who number 20 for the Kraken is. I have an old sheet here that says it is Hannah Cole, but I'll see if I can confirm that between periods if that is indeed who is wearing number 20. Puck in the Flame zone. Polchi's rubbed out by Mills. Kraken need to tag up. Cook in the neutral zone. She tries to tap it in. She's looking for a change. Nelson. Lawrence now. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence goes to the Doolin. Doolin shot. Oh, she just missed it. Missed wide right. Just about to approach the halfway mark of this first period. No score here. Feltmate throws one on net. She misses wide right. Puck in the neutral zone. Good back check by Doolin. Peels her off the puck. Doolin backhands it into the Kraken end, and they head for a change. Smith, Johnstone, Somers on the ice for the Flames. Smith trying to knock this one free. Reaching around. Got to be careful there. She knocks it free, but anytime you have your hand off your stick and doing that reach around, an arm might pop up. Richard dishes it off for Bex. Bex, cross ice. Back to Richard. Smith going to put pressure on it. Waterhouse pinches in the neutral zone, knocks it free. LeBlanc recovers. LeBlanc by herself. LeBlanc just peeled off the stick just before her shot. Waterhouse just got enough of that one that she couldn't get the shot off. Puck in the neutral zone. Flames send it down, all looking for a change again. Captain Folks Polchi's on the ice. Puck chipped into the Flames end. Daggle's going to be there first. I'm going to call number 20 Cole until I find out otherwise. And I apologize if it is indeed not Cole. Folks knocked off the puck by Little. Flames still have it. Sharp angle shot. Misses by Daigle. Pops out the other side. Held in by Cook. Now Waterhouse back on the scene. Keeps it in. Puck coming down the length of the ice. Arm up for icing. And that one should come back to the Kraken end. And it is the 8:30 mark of the first period. No score here between the Flames and the Kraken in Game 3 of this series. 1, 2, 3, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Flames taking Game 1 here at home. Kraken took Game 2 yesterday at home. And of course, as I could scout out around the arena and hereabouts, there's lots of phones on and stuff watching the Olympic overtime. And I've got it down here in my peripheral vision too. I will try to contain myself no matter what happens here. Face-off coming in the Flames end. 8:15 of the first period. Shots on goal, 5-3 in favor of the Kraken. LeBlanc to take it for the Kraken. Her and Nelson stay tied up. It's fished out by Doolin. Doolin comes cross ice to Lawrence. Lawrence is going to bank it off the wall below the goal line. Still battling for it. No arm up on that. Almost looked like Lawrence could have taken a hook or a trip on that one. Lawrence centers the puck. Skipped past the stick of Nelson. And Boulier will bring that down, fired on the net from the blue line, and a bunch of Kraken have gone for a change. Puck in the Flames end. Here's Somers. Somers goes behind the net. She's chased by Mills. Somers still moving with it. That one's held at the blue line. No. It was tight. And a colossal groan from Canada as the U.S. takes that gold medal game. Face off in the neutral zone. Johnstone gets it back. Boursier chips it up the wall. Somers is going to chase it. Puck tied up just inside the blue line. Easton's there. Johnstone finally pushes it forward. Comes right back into the neutral zone. Here's Feltmate. Feltmate, shot on net. Rebound. Polchis is there. Still fishing around for it. Finally sent down the ice. This should go for icing. And it will. Face off coming back to the Kraken end. 6-4 shots on goal in favor of the Kraken here. Not sure if the next game of this series has been scheduled yet. See if I can find that out as well. Face off won by the Kraken. Working below their goal line. Duguay tries sending it up. Blocked by Polchis. Move towards the net. Cook couldn't get a stick on that. Cook backhands it into the corner to Folks. Folks is pinned against the wall. Gier comes in, bowls down everybody. Pops out the other side. Waterhouse steps way down deep and keeps it in. Reversed on the other side. Daggle's going to pinch that one in. Back into the corner on the stick of Folks. Folks looking to move that out front to Cook. Couldn't get it out. Now it's back to Daggle. Daggle saw Doolin trying to slide into the middle there, but couldn't get that pass on. Folks heads to the bench. Easton steps on. Nelson steps on, rather. And here comes Daggle. Daggle has Doolin. Daggle, I think Duguay got a piece of her stick, which she tried to fire that one. Didn't get much on it. Had Doolin going to the back door. Here's Lawrence in the slot. Nice feed from Doolin. Good shot. Puck coming in. Chason's going to hang on to that one. And we're at 5:31 now of the first period. No score here at the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton. Here comes Bex. Bex in the neutral zone. Tried stepping past. Boursier couldn't. Now Boursier is going to back up. Goes cross ice to Kimball. Kimball tries chipping it up the left-hand side to Doolin. Doolin's pinned by two. Yeomans directs that one off to the corner. 5-minute mark of the first period. Mills is going to pick it up below the Flames goal line. Boursier takes a swing at it. Now here comes Lawrence. Lawrence up the middle. She's all by herself. Somerville's on her. Somerville comes out with the puck. Goes cross ice to Richard. Richard up the left-hand side. Johnstone's got it in her feet in the neutral zone. She throws it into the Kraken end. Boutlier's going to be there. Smith coming to try and knock her off. Held in by Daggle, the blue line. She fires it on net. Long rebound, but nobody's anywhere near that. Boutlier picks it back up. Now Johnstone down below the goal line to Smith. Centering puck. Gets past Somers. That one hit Somers. Somers centering puck to Smith. Loose in front. Johnstone, I think, got a stab at it. Still free. Below the goal line. Going to be held in by Feltmate. Smith in the corner. Now Somers throws it out of net again. Sharp angle. Ends up back in the corner. Feltmate, another pinch. That one goes over the boards into the Kraken bench. And we'll take a face-off. Back in the Kraken end. 3:54 of the first period. Flames got a couple shots back there. 7-6 now in favor of the Flames. The shots on goal. Folkson to take this face-off. Ends up on the stick Bex, no, Cook gets it. Now Bex has it. Bex, pinned along the wall by Folks. Now Cook. Cook has Polchis going to the net. Throws it. Directed off to the corner. Here's Captain Folks. Back to Waterhouse. Waterhouse from the point. Chason will hang on to that one. Polchis hovering around. Face off. Won by Folks. Shot by Boursier. Took a tip on the way in and ends up below the goal line. Here's Cook. Cook in her own end. Trying to come out the right-hand side. Mills takes a tumble. Cook skates past her. Here's Little in the neutral zone. She's got nobody, so she just throws it down into the Flames' end. Waterhouse is going to come out with it. Waterhouse, long cross ice pass to Doolin. Doolin tries dancing in the neutral zone. Peeled off the puck. Duguay tries coming out with it. She's knocked off the puck. And I do believe Lawrence is going to go this time for a hook. And the Kraken will have the first power play of the game. Lawrence is going for a hook. There has been a couple of those where Flames have kind of reached in on the Kraken and there was non-calls. So they get busted on this one. And the Kraken have the first shot at the power play here today. Nelson broke her stick on the face-off. Heads to the bench for a new twig. Nelson and Johnstone, your penalty killers, with Kimball and Boursier. Dickey gains the zone, puts the brakes on, gives it back to Little. Little working off the side, centering puck, loose in front. Johnstone should get there, chips it into the neutral zone. Johnstone backhands it into the zone, heads to the bench for a change. Folks and Polchis, your penalty killers now. With Daigle and Feltmate. Daigle fires that one. Not quite held in at the blue line though. LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking up the middle. Finds Gilliland. Slips off her stick. Flames will send it back down. 55 left in the Lawrence hook penalty. 1:30 left in the period. Soft puck up the left side to LeBlanc. LeBlanc in the neutral zone. Loses it in her feet. Feltmate steps up. Fires it down. Just over 30 seconds remaining in the Lawrence penalty now. Last minute of play in the first period. Dooland pins it along the wall. Mills behind the net. Centers it. Shot. This is wide left. 10 seconds left on the advantage. 40 left on the clock for the period. Here's Dickey. Dickey tries a sharp angle shot. Hits Feltmate. Back to even strength. Daigle tries wrapping it around the wall. Didn't get much on it. Stays in the Flames' end. Daigle again. Sends it up. Held in by Boulier. Boulier tries firing it. Fans on it. Now she gets it. Shot attempt. Yeomans will hang on to that one. Mills standing right there trying to get a whack at it. .9 on the clock. Even strength face-off coming here to the left of Yeomans. Johnstone will take it against Gilliland. Kind of tied up in feet. Kraken get it back to the point for the shot. Ends up in the corner. Johnstone trying to fish it out.
LeBlanc. They're just going to hold it there, and the clock's going to expire. And that is the end of the first period. No score after one. 8-7 the shots in favor of the Flames. And we'll rejoin you for the start of the second period. Alright folks, welcome back for the second period. The music coming in here almost unusually loud, extra loud today. Hard to speak over until the play starts, but welcome back for the second period. No score here in Game 3 between the Kraken and the Flames. Series evened up at 1 game apiece. I did not check or get a confirmation of when game 4 will be. I don't know if we know that yet or not. I'll find that out. But in my lineup check, I did confirm number 20, and I had it partly right. The sheet I have, it's cut off to just Hannah Cole, but it's Hannah Coleman. So sorry to the Colemans if you're tuned in wondering why we had no idea who that was, and now we do. So number 20, no name bar on the Kraken, is Hannah Coleman. We'll see if I can remember to spit that out. We are scoreless here in the second period, and the shots on goal are 8-7 in favor of the Flames. Kraken win a face-off in their own end. Daigle with the pinch. Here's Polchis, tries walking in the middle, skips back. Coming back the other way, foot race. And the puck's knocked out of play. We'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. Nelson in to take it against Gilliland. Puck deep into the Flame zone. Borsier's going to be there. She's pressured by Dickey. Now Lawrence. Lawrence through the neutral zone to Nelson. Nelson chips it ahead. Little's going to be there first. Little stops up behind the net. Makes some room for herself. Backhanded into the neutral zone on the stick of Borsier. She sends it off the left side wall. Contested in the neutral zone here. Dickey starts to come out with it. She collides with Lawrence, goes down. No call on that. Borsier dishes it off to Waterhouse. Waterhouse looking up the left side for Doolin. Misses her. Ends up on the stick of Richard, who dumps it into the Flames' end. Borsier will be back to grab it. Borsier reverses behind the net. Loses an edge, goes down. And an arm up here quickly. We have a hooking call coming against LeBlanc. And the Flames will go to the power play here at the 18:31 mark of the second period. No score, looking to get on the board here. Kraken had one power play in the first period. Nothing came of it. This is the Flames' first power play. So LeBlanc in the box for a hook. Fulks in to take the face-off. She wins it. Feltmate comes across to Daigle. Daigle tries the shot, hits a stick. Set back into the neutral zone, and the Flames are going to have to reset. Daigle parks behind the net. Waits for everyone to come back and set up. Long stretch pass. She was looking for Cook, who was cutting across the far blue line. Just about worked. And it's all the way back down again. 30 seconds gone in the Flames power play. Daigle picks it up below the goal line. Daigle. She's going to carry it this time. Gilliland turns on the Jets, tried to chase her, but Daigle's going to walk in, hits a body. Sent back down again. Hustle for it by Dickey. Forces Yeomans to play it. Now Lawrence in the neutral zone. Skips off the skate of Nelson. Flames still with it here, but can't settle it down. Duguay's going to fire it down. And this penalty kill is halfway complete for the Kraken. Daigle looking again for the long pass. That one's going to come all the way down. That's going to be icing? No. Nelson had the advantage there and negated the icing. Now Doolin knocks it free. below the goal line. 40 seconds left on the Flames power play. Doolan looking to center of the puck here. Waterhouse steps up. And from her knees, Beck sends it in to the Flames end. 20 now left in the Flames power play. Boursier is going to take a hand at it, coming up through the neutral zone. Boursier dishes it off to Nelson. Nelson fires that one towards the net. Easily deflected off to the side by Chiasson. Waterhouse to Boursier. Boursier back to Waterhouse. Waterhouse still with it. Back to Boursier. Bobbled up the blue line. Comes out. Waterhouse, she's taken down off the puck. LeBlanc recovers it. LeBlanc tried to step around Boursier. The puck went, but she didn't. And we are back to even strength now as the LeBlanc penalty came to an end. Here's Boursier behind the net. Sends it up the right side for Polchis. Polchis tries tipping it off the boards for Lawrence. Lawrence has Smith way out wide here. Little stepped up, got just a piece of it, breaks that play up. Back in the Flames' end. Puck into the neutral zone. Boulier to Little chips it into the zone. Back on the stick of Waterhouse. Waterhouse pressured. Wraps it around. Boursier should be there. Boursier backhands it into the neutral zone. Back on the stick of Boulier. Polchis tried to knock it free. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Boulier. That was Betts. Kraken are offside. So, face off here in the neutral zone. It'll be Johnstone and Mills. Kimball sends it up the right side for Somers. Back on the stick of the Kraken. That pass misses Ricketson. Kimball in the Flames' end sends it up the right side to Eason. Back behind the net is Kimball. She sends it up the right side for Easton again. Easton has Somers and Johnstone. Goes between both of them. Back into the Kraken end. Somers and Johnstone knock it free. Now Daigle takes a shot from the point. Didn't quite get all of it. Ends up off in the corner. Now Little, pressured by Polchis. Steps past her. Folks there to help. Folks comes out with it. Sharp angle shot. Right into the glove of Chiasson. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the second period. No score. Somebody looking to leave this game with a 2-1 series lead. Tied up at 1 apiece. Flames won here at home on Friday night. Kraken won at home last night. Loose puck in front. Polchis couldn't cut back and get a stick on it. Puck still in the slot there. Cook spins and backhands, misses the net. Polchis moves it towards net. Folks, bobbling puck. Cook taking a stab at it. Puck free in the blue paint. Neither Folks nor Cook could tap that in. And Chiasson finally covers it up. Shots on goal now, 11-8 in favor of the Flames. Laurenton to take a face-off here against LeBlanc. Pinched by Feltmate, gets past her. Doolan keeps it in at the blue line though. Nelson tries chipping it up the wall. Stuck in a crowd of bodies there. I don't know if the puck gone in somebody's pants or... So puck got lost in the pants of LeBlanc there, and we'll have a face-off again with Lawrence and LeBlanc. Lawrence wins it over to the side. Nelson can't get a hold of it though. Held in by Feltmate at the blue line. Lost in bodies again there. Feltmate tried coming cross ice, but Boursier had backed out of the zone with everybody pinching over on the other side. Here's Dooland. Dooland steps past Little, sharp angle, puts the brakes on, reverses. She was looking back to the point. Defense were changing. Daggle's back there now. She fires. Hits Bex. Bex and Daggle jabbing at each other here out of the blue line. Puck into the neutral zone. Daggle and Bex going after it. Daggle's there first. She comes cross ice to Waterhouse, who dishes it back to Daggle. Daggle collides with Coleman at the blue line. Both go down, and both quickly back up in the play. Race between Easton and Coleman in the corner. Coleman wins it. Gets it back to Little. Little comes cross ice to Boutelier. Boutelier shot through traffic. Loose puck in front. Easton's going to get it. Tries chipping it out. Doesn't exit the zone. Still in. Now Easton again. Loose puck in front. Coleman in a prime spot. Couldn't get the shot off. Easton this time centers it to Nelson. Nelson's going to send it in to the Kraken end. Chase on the play. No, that's going to go for icing. .11:56, second period. No score still. Face off in the Flames' end after the icing call. A couple Flames tried sneaking to the bench. Ref was all over that. Pulled Nelson back onto the ice. Puck in the neutral zone. Gilliland tries backhanding it to Dickey. Dickey through the neutral zone. Cut into traffic. Got off her stick. And now it'll come back to the Kraken end. Here's Richard. Richard looking for a long stretch pass. Misses the target there. Still in the Flame zone. Polchi, she's peeled off the puck. Now Folks is going to try. Here's Folks. Working by herself. Chips it into the corner. She's going to put pressure on it. Boursier moving in for a pinch. Cook, sharp angle. Tried sending it across. Didn't hit anything. Goes wide. Puck down into the Flames' end. Race for it by Bex. Bex puts the pressure on Boursier. Boursier goes down. Kimball sends it across to Boursier. Cook trying to tap it out of the zone. Cook's stick is stuck in the door. Her blade, you can see the stick over there wiggling. Hopefully nobody hits that and breaks that blade off. And it looks like Cook's stick is okay. Maybe breathe a sigh of relief, Cooks. That didn't cost you $250 for getting stuck in the door. Richard, cross ice to Little. Little back to Richard. Richard up the right side to Coleman. Coleman looking for somebody cutting across the blue line. And couldn't wait to cross the blue line herself, and she goes offside. And we are just seconds away from the halfway mark of this second period. Still no score. Gilliland wins the face-off over Nelson, gets it back to Boutelier, who goes cross ice. Dumped into the corner. Dickey's there. Dickey, sharp angle, tried to throw it out front. It was blocked. Now Feltmate. She dishes it off for Daggle. Daggle up the left side to Dooland. Held in. At the blue line. Nope, that one's going to pop into the neutral zone. Over to Boutelier. Boutelier gains the red line. Gains the blue line. Boulier still pushing it forward. Gets it below the goal line and retreats. Here's Daigle. Daigle tried moving it up the right side to Lawrence. Picked off, though. On the right side again. Now Lawrence has it on her stick. Lawrence cross ice for Smith. Smith looked like she tried to pull an inside move there, but ends up firing it all the way down to the corner. Puck along the wall. Johnstone trying to knock it free against Wilcox. Now Sommers and Johnstone get it back to Boursier. Boursier shot on net. Smith was there in the goalie's eyes. Johnstone peels that puck free. Waterhouse now. Waterhouse back to her partner. Up through the middle. Here's Sommers. Sommers tries pushing it ahead. That's blocked. Battle for it here along the wall. Sommers and Johnstone head to the bench. Folks and Cook jump on. Boursier pinch over on the far side. Beck's trying to pull it free. Folks gets it. Smith working the blue line while Boursier was up. Dishes it into the corner. Duguay now behind the net. She's got Folks on her. LeBlanc's there. Folks comes out with it. Folks taken down. No arm up on that one. Waterhouse just barely kept that one in. Little with the puck. Now up the other side. Boursier pinching on the left-hand side. Ricketson chips it past her, but Waterhouse and Folks back checking had that covered off. Long stretch pass. Looking up to Cook, but that's picked off. Now Boursier behind the goal line. Sends it up the right side. Cook is there. Cook. Cross ice pass to Polchis here. Here's Polchis. Polchis trying to walk in. She's in. Gets a little bit of a backhand. She's taken down though. Below the goal line. And the Kraken move it out the left-hand side. 7:20 of the second period. Still no score here in Game 3 of the Flames-Kraken series. Moncton Rocket awaiting the winner of this series. Here's Dooland. Dooland fighting with it in her feet. Finally loses it. Now Daigle. Daigle tried jumping up. Here's Dooland again. Dooland shot through the defense. That one saved by Chason off to the corner. Here's Coleman. Coleman fanned on the centering pass. Picked up by Lawrence. Over to Dooland. Dooland's going to fire that one in and head to the bench. Sommers, Johnstone, Eason pop over the bench for the Flames. Here's Boulier. Boulier gains the red line, dishes it off. Heads to the bench for a change. Duguay and Little step on. Little right into the play. Sorry, Duguay right over there. Picks it up, keeps it in. And Yeoman's forced to hang on to that one. And we'll take a face-off in the Flames' end, 6-10. Second period, no score. Shots on goal, 13-9 in favor of the Flames. And it'll be LeBlanc and Johnstone squaring up here. Defensive zone face-off. Ends up a bit of a shot on Yeoman. She'll hold on to that and take the face-off again. Kraken got the change in, but LeBlanc tossed out of the face-off. Still won, and we'll take that face-off for a third consecutive time. This time LeBlanc will step back in. Johnstone, LeBlanc. LeBlanc on her strong side, Johnstone on her weak side, tied up in feet. This time Eason steps through and moves the puck over. She's down, taken down. Puck along the wall, Johnstone and Eason there. Feltmate's helping out too. Johnstone finally pushes it free for Boursier. Boursier puts the brakes on behind the net, sends it up the right-hand side, but Eason vacated the point and sent right back in. Somers now to Eason. Eason through the neutral zone. Flames have 3. Eason. She's directed off the corner. Now Johnstone centering puck. Somers didn't see that one coming. She was in the slot. She would have had some time. And we are about to hit the 5-minute mark here of the second period in a scoreless affair. Johnstone sends it up the left side. Polchis. She's pinched off by Little. Sent back into the Flames' end. Here's Feltmate now. Feltmate's going to go up the right-hand side. Skips past everybody. That's not strong enough for icing. Little's there. Polchis pressure on it. Cook's back to help. Mills putting pressure on Cook. Cook behind the net. Centering puck. Folks was hanging around in the slot there, but puck couldn't get to her. Waterhouse, soft backhand at the blue line, keeps it in. Now Boutelier. Boutelier tried chipping it ahead to Ricketson. Moved into the Flame zone on the stick of Daigle. Daigle wraps it around the right side for Cook. Cook, she's going to start moving with it. Cook chips it into the corner, heads to the bench for a change along with Captain Folks. Nelson Lawrence pop over the boards. Dooland, Lawrence, Nelson out here for the Flames. Puck chipped up the left side. Stopped by Daigle. Daigle's got it in her feet. Coleman's putting pressure on her. Knocks it free. Now Richard. Richard backhands it up the right-hand side. Waterhouse steps up. Keeps it in the neutral zone. Now back on the stick of LeBlanc. Shot from the point. Yeomans lost that one for a second. But Lawrence comes out with it. Lawrence still with it. Legier gets a little bit of a hook on Lawrence. Lawrence, sharp angle shot. Directed off to the side by Chasson. Now Nelson throws it below the goal line. Coming back around the other side. Kimball's going to hold that one in. Fans on the shot attempt, though. Cross ice pass. It's going to be picked up by Somers. Somers shot. A little bit of a rebound there for Smith. Now Somers again takes that shot. Nobody hanging out at the back door that time. Now LeBlanc and Somers. Somers below the goal line. Somers walks out, takes a shot. Chasson just playing that one. Shot by Boursier through some traffic. Somers, Johnstone, Smith creating some chaos here. Somers again. Backhand, loose puck. Finally blown down. Definitely a good little blast of life there from the Flames. Somers, Smith, and Johnstone. And Polchis, Folks, and Cook will step on now. Folks going to take that draw against Gilliland. Gilliland wins it back to Little. Little tries wrapping up the board. Here comes the pinch by Feltmate. And the Kraken get it in the neutral zone. Daigle's going to be back first. Daigle backing up. Chips it up the boards for Cook. Cook gets it in the neutral zone. Still trying to move it forward. She had Polchis poked free a little bit, but couldn't get it any further. Hot pass for Polchis. Can't handle that one. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Still no score. Shots on goal now 17-11 in favor of the Flames. Here's Boutelier. Boutelier gets it into the neutral zone. Cook tries to fish it out. Can't. Now Little. Little still has it moving forward. She's stopped up. Folks tried moving that ahead. Polchis floating out in the neutral zone here, looking for that puck to pop out. Just won't. Puck chipped up the wall. Polchis will get that into the neutral zone. And the Kraken get it in. LeBlanc's going to be there first. She's pinned by Daigle. Couple jeers from the crowd on that one, maybe looking for a contact. Here comes Cook and Daggle. Oh, Cook couldn't fish it out on time. Daggle would have had the position to move in. Under a minute to go here. Kraken, long stretch pass. That one's going to go for icing. No, it's waved off. I thought Borsier got just ahead. Enough to make that forced to the icing call, but waved off. 25 to go here. Puck in the Kraken end, wrapped around the wall. Borsier steps up for the pinch, gets past her. Lawrence tries to help out. And sent back into the neutral zone. 12 seconds on the clock. Flames have numbers here. Shot by Nelson. Doesn't get through. 5 seconds to go here. Long shot. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And we are scoreless after 2. Shots on goal 17-11 in favor of the Kraken. And I will rejoin you for the start of the third period. All right, everyone, just about to get underway here in the third period. Scoreless situation here at the Grant Harvey Center in Game 3 of this best-of-5 series. Somebody will leave here shortly with a 2-1 lead. Tense hockey all around today. Of course, the Olympic outcome, not the one that a lot of us wanted to see, of course. I did have another positive outcome, though. The Capital City Classic tournament is happening here, and my U18 team was on the Olympic ice on the other side of this arena just before the Flames game, and we won a semifinal. So, immediately following this game, I'm headed over to the Willie O'Ree place for a gold medal game with my U15 team. But first, Flames and Kraken, third period. Chasson plays it up the right-hand side. Held in at the blue line by Daigle. Here's Daigle, walks in, takes a sharp angle shot. That's directed off to the corner. Somerville dishes it back for Dugay to LeBlanc. LeBlanc loses a handle on it at the red line, dumps it in. Daigle up the left side to Dooland. Dooland goes down. On the stick of Bex. Bex comes cross ice to Legier. Throws it on net. Yeomans plays it for Daigle to Dooland to Lawrence. Lawrence tried coming back over across to Dooland. Ends up back up on the stick of Dooland though. Dooland trying to walk in. Can't get through everybody. Pinned along the wall. Brought out by Bex. Bex. She's stripped off the puck in the neutral zone. Back into the Flames end. Boursier is going to get it. Boursier moves up the left side to Dooland. Dooland gets a piece of that puck, but it popped up in the air. And the Flames will come out again the other side, this time with Waterhouse. No, she puts the brakes on. Back up the left side to Dooland. Dooland softly taps it into the neutral zone, and that line heads to the bench for a change. 2 minutes gone here in the scoreless third period. Shots on goal are currently sitting 21-13 in favor of the Flames, but with no score on the board, that doesn't mean a whole lot. LeBlanc down in the corner, tied up with the referee. He gets up. Chasson out to play that one. Dugay behind the net. Knocked free by Summers. Summers in the middle of the Daigle. Daigle shot! She misses low right. Dickey moving in on Eason, who had covered up for Daigle. Back on the stick of Boutelier. Boutelier mishandles it. Picks it back up. Boutelier up the right-hand side. I think she was looking for Dickey, but misses. And that one's going to go for icing. Three minutes gone now here in the third period. Kraken called for icing, and that'll come back to the right of Chasson. Folks, Polchis, Cook over the boards for the Flames. Folks in to take that. I think it's against Wilcox. Shot attempt, two shot attempts. Neither of them made their way to Chasson. Folks pressed along the wall by Mills. Puck finally comes free. Here's Folks. Folks walks in, hits the foot a little, chips off into the corner. This time, centering pass for Cook. I think that hit Little again and skipped past Cook. Puck sent into the Flame zone. Kraken head to the bench for a change. Ricketson putting pressure on it. Gets a stick on that one. Makes its way to the neutral zone. Folks will tip it up, but Duguay recovers it. Duguay coming back towards the Flames goal. Takes the long shot. That one sent off to the quarter by Yeomans. Ricketson trying to walk in. She's knocked off the puck. Now here comes Doolin. Doolin loses it in her feet in the neutral zone. Back on the stick of Ricketson. Ricketson moves it ahead to Coleman. Coleman puts the brakes on. Tried coming back to Ricketson. Flames turn it over and send it down. And now it's going to go for icing. Slow moving puck, but blown down for the icing. It's 15:35 now in the third period. Still no score. In this game 3 of the best of 5 series. Lawrence and LeBlanc squaring off. Tied up in feet. Wilcox pushed it ahead. Kimball gets it. Wraps it around the wall. Held in by Richard at the blue line. Race for it with Nelson and Boutelier. Nelson keeps it moving forward. Doolin tries to cut it off on the other side. Recovered behind the net. Centered. Loosened the crease. Doolin tied up, couldn't get her stick down, backhand that. Now Nelson. Nelson comes cross ice for Boursier. Hits the linesperson. Boursier just about kept that one in. Finally comes back out. Bex has it. She's knocked off the puck by Johnstone. Now Boursier tries chipping it up the right-hand side. She's knocked off the puck. Here's Bex. Bex tried to backhand it in the middle for Dickey. Didn't get the puck out there. Johnstone crunched off the puck there. Gilliland in the neutral zone, pressed by Smith. Now Legier. Legier dumps it in. Somerville coming to put pressure on Feltmate. Feltmate backhands up the right side. Smith tried tipping it past. Johnstone gets it into the neutral zone. Easton's going to go chase Legier. Johnstone heads to the bench. Folks jumps on. Waterhouse now. Waterhouse up the left side. Recovered by the Kraken. Waterhouse again. Tried to find Folks. Skips over her stick. Puck deep in the Kraken zone. Daigle steps up for a pinch. Folks and Cook pinned along the wall. Polchi's lingering around for a puck to pop out. Finally does. Goes past everybody. Race for it now. Waterhouse should be there first. And she dishes off to Daigle, who tries for the quick up. Missed Folks spinning around. And that one will come back to the Flames' end for icing. 13:40 here in the third period. No score. 22-14 the shots on goal now hanging out for the Flames. Face-off won by the Kraken into the neutral zone. Cook keeps the puck moving forward. Gets it partly deep. Polchi's tried spinning on that backhand, couldn't keep it on her stick. Here comes Bex. Bex is knocked off the puck. And we're going to have a face-off here in the neutral zone. It'll be Nelson and Gilliland. Here's Dooland. Back below the goal line is Boursier. Now Kimball. Kimball up the right side to Lawrence. Lawrence fishes it in the neutral zone. Nobody across the ice, though, for that pass. Here's Dooland again. Doolan chips it up the wall. Doolan chips it up the wall again. She's peeled off the puck there. Puck into the Flame zone. Kimball's going to get it below the goal line. Kimball reverses it. Boursier looking for a cross ice. Lawrence. Ricketson picks that off. Boursier again chips it up the left side this time. Somers tried to chip that into the neutral zone, but skipped past her. Now Boursier again up the left side. Held in again. Kraken have to tag up. Boursier has a little bit more time. Had no option. She sends it down the ice. That one's going to go for icing again. And at the 12-minute mark, face-off back in the Flame zone. Face-off to the left of Yeomans. Shot right on. Yeomans will hang on to that one. And we'll have that face-off again to the left of Yeomans. 12:02 to go here in the third. Face-off won by the Kraken. Shot by Boulier through traffic. Hit something, ends up off in the corner. Folks chips it up the left-hand side. Here's Somers. Somers, she's peeled off the puck from behind by LeBlanc. Puck coming up the left-hand side. Bex. Bex has LeBlanc move into the net. Bex tries centering it for LeBlanc. Couldn't get enough of it. Folks this time chips it. Folks chips it in, taken out. Some jeers from the crowd again, looking for contact penalty. This time, Folks, the victim. Here comes Duguay. Duguay on Daigle. Soft backhand, directed to the corner by Yeomans. Gilliland pinned along the wall. Johnstone gets it free for Daigle. Daigle up the left side to Smith. Smith chips it down the ice. Icing signal, but that's not going to go. Puck held in by Eason. No. Back into the Kraken zone. Chasson's going to play that for Duguay. Eason gets a piece of it. Now Johnstone sends it back to the point for Boursier. Boursier, she's knocked off the puck. Now Smith battling here along the wall. Trying to poke it free. Mills gets it out to Duguay. Back on the stick of Easton again, who sends it deep into the Kraken zone as we approach the halfway mark of this third period. Here's Polchis. Polchis in all alone. Chasson squared up nicely, and what looked like probably one of the better scoring chances for either team this game. Nothing comes of it. Here's Polchis again. Polchis moving to the middle. Cross ice to Boursier. Pass bounces over her stick. Back to Polchis. Up to Doolin. Doolin backhands it into the corner. No, sorry, that's Waterhouse. Chasson out to play it. Cook tries keeping the puck deep. Skips past her. Coleman in the neutral zone, tried swiping it across, healed the puck. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse in the neutral zone. Taken down. Daigle. Daigle's going to chip it low and go chase it herself. Here's Somers. Somers peeled off the puck. Here's Wilcox. Wilcox in, scores! And the Kraken strike first. And the Kraken fans making some noise for that. So with 9:12 to go, Kraken take the lead on the Wilcox goal. Shots on goal are 24-17 in favor of the Flames, but Kraken now with a lead here in this Game 3 of a tied series. Somerville chips it into the Flames' end. Kimball now. Kimball tries coming up the right-hand side. Here's Lawrence. Now Johnstone. Johnstone loses an edge, goes down. Rozier comes cross ice to Somerville. Somerville elects to dump it in, heads to the bench for a change. Boursier behind the goal line. Moves up the right-hand side, just out of the reach of Feltmate. Lawrence tried moving it forward, couldn't get it out either. On the left side now, Smith. Smith gets it into the neutral zone, but Boutelier is going to send that right back in, and the Flames got to go for it again. Now Nelson. Nelson behind the net, comes out the left side for Smith. Smith taking down the blue line, can't get the puck out. Flames trying this breakout again. This time gets out in the neutral zone to Lawrence. Back on the stick a Little. Little will send it down. Back in the neutral zone again. Little tried to send that one down, blocked by Nelson. And now it's back the other way. That one blown down for icing. Hard to hear the whistles. .746 here, third period. Nelson gets that face off. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse puts the break on. She's knocked off to the puck by Somerville though. Smith tried moving it up. Didn't get much of it. Stays in. Now here's Cook. Waterhouse again. Reverses this time. Goes cross ice to Smith. Smith pressured by Little. Puck will come back for Chase on a play. Back on the stick of Little. Little cross ice for Dickey. Back to Dickey. Here's Dickey. Dickey will throw it on net. Yeomans is going to have to cover up that one with Somerville and Bolton in. 7:01 to go here. Third period. Kraken with a 1-0 lead off the Wilcox goal here in the third period. And the series tied at 1 apiece. Here comes Somers. Somers can't step around anybody. Dumps it into the corner. Polchi's there to put pressure on it. Johnstone held in by Boursier. That one just out of the reach of Somers. Held in by Feltmate. Back on the stick of Somers. Throws it on net. Almost took a funny bounce there off Polchi's. Johnstone tried rolling it behind the net for Polchi's, but Polchi's kind of tangled up. Didn't see it go by. Long pass for Polchi's. Polchi's loses the handle on it. Here comes Bex. Bex spins, drops it off for LeBlanc. Now it's chipped up the wall for Polchi's. Polchi's gains the red line, throws it in on Chason. She's headed to the bench for a change. That one's fired down the ice, and this time we'll have an icing against the Kraken. And with 5:49 to go, face-off coming in the Kraken end. And it'll be Lawrence in to take it. Lawrence and LeBlanc. Lawrence wins it. She got it to Doolin. Doolin tried the quick shot off the draw and misfired. Here comes Bex. Bex is by herself. Has now LeBlanc there in front of the net. Duguay. Cross ice to Boutelier. Back to Duguay. Duguay moves it up the left-hand side to LeBlanc. LeBlanc gains the zone. Bex moves it forward onto Yeomans. And Yeomans will hang on to that one, and then we're down to 5:22 ticks on the clock. Kraken trying to hang on to this one, and the Flames trying to figure out a way to get on the board here. Borsier in the Flames end moves it up the left-hand side. Here's Daigle. Daigle wraps it around. Looks like we have Daigle playing forward here. Little extra offensive touch. So we have Daigle skating with Folks and Cook. Coach looking for a little explanation why the face-off is in their zone. Some rules have changed in the last year or two with the placement of face-offs, and in most cases, it stays in the zone, regardless of who knocked it out and how it went out, with the purpose of eliminating arguments over who it went off of and how it went out. So face-offs just in most cases automatically stay in the zone now. Face-off in the neutral zone this time. Daigle tries stepping forward. She's taken down. Puck makes its way into the neutral zone. Coleman fighting for it. Now comes cross ice for Duguay. Duguay chips it forward into the Flames' end. Cook pinned along the wall by Ricketson. Mills is there to help too. Feltmate's there. Borsier comes out with it. Here's Daigle. Daigle up the left-hand side. Daigle with some speed. Chips it to herself. Taken down. That one's going to be a penalty. Daigle looking for a little chip up the wall to herself. Manhandled as she tried to step around there. So the penalty assessed to Boutelier. She's on the bench getting looked at. She was a little slow to get up. All right, she seems good to go. She's got her helmet back on, and she will go over to serve her penalty. Oh, Flames on the power play. 4:18 on the clock. Looking for an opportunity to even this up. Held in off the draw. Waterhouse has it. Waterhouse, cross ice to Borsier. Borsier dishes it off to Lawrence. Back to Borsier. Shot by Borsier, tipped in front, loose, off in the corner. Kraken are there, picked off in the neutral zone by Borsier. Borsier trying to slow things down. No reason to dump. Here's Dooland. Dooland's going to gain the zone. Dooland dishes it off for Lawrence. Back to Borsier, cross ice for Waterhouse. Waterhouse. Back to Dooland, just at her reach. Held in. Borsier to Lawrence. Lawrence, sharp angle shot, directed below the goal line. Waterhouse, deep pinch, keeps it in. Puck still contested here in the slot. Lawrence trying to get a stick on it. Dooland's there to help. Dooland finally dances out with it, dishes it back to the blue line for Borsier. Borsier, cross ice to Waterhouse. 1 minute gone now in this power play. Long pass across to Lawrence, who centers it for Dooland, but doesn't get that shot off. Dooland over to Lawrence. Lawrence, sharp angle shot, hits bodies. Held in by Boursier. 45 seconds to go on the Flames power play. Doolin to the bench. Polchi's on. Over to Boursier. Boursier is going to keep that one in. Down to Lawrence. Lawrence skips past her stick. Nelson's there. Here's Polchi's. Polchi's looking to walk in. Sharp angle shot. Chason will hold on to that. And we have 23 to go on the Flames' advantage. 2:41 left in the game. And the Kraken still clinging to a 1-0 lead here in Game 3 of this series. And we have a timeout called by the Flames. And while we're in this timeout, I will look to see if indeed we have the next game of this series scheduled yet. Let's see if I can find that while we await here. So it is on Saturday, March 7th, 3:45 at the Q-Plex. So, Flames with their timeout. 23 to go on the power play. It'll be Folkson to take the face-off. Polchi's and Cook. She wins it back to Feltmate. Feltmate's going to come cross ice to Daigle. Daigle, shot from the point, it's tipped. Ends up in the corner. Polchi's knocks it free for Folks. Folks comes back to Feltmate. Feltmate, shot through traffic. Kicked in front. Puck was loose. And the Boulier penalty has expired. Back to even strength. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the third period. Folks trying to get this puck free. Polchi's with her. Or Cook with her. Polchi's parked in front. Boulier. Right on that puck. Held in. Just barely. This time it makes its way out. Under 2 to go. Kraken trying to move that puck out. Now here comes Polchi's. Polchi's gains the blue line. Loose puck for Nelson. And Yeomans is headed to the bench. Kraken are coming. They have the open net. Hits Boursier. Flames, open net. Here's Daigle. Daigle takes a long shot. Pops up high. Puck in the neutral zone. Shot towards the empty net. Sharp angle shot. Just over 1 minute to go. Johnstone trying to peel Mills off the puck. Duguay, sorry. Johnstone pokes it free. Now she moves it ahead. Daigle tried chipping it ahead to herself. Johnstone again pushing it forward. 50 seconds on the clock. Shot attempt on the open net. Daigle has it. And the referee's convening. Somebody had a hand. One of the linesmen had a hand up there, so I don't know if they were looking for an icing or if there was a delayed offside. I didn't quite catch what the action was. Either way, there's 45.8 left on the clock. So, determined that we'll take a face-off here at center ice. Yeomans will remain out of the net. With 45 to go, Flames got to win the faceoff. Johnstone gets there, tries backhanding it forward. And the faceoff will come into the Flames end of the neutral zone as it went over the bench. Folks and Gilliland squaring off here. Gilliland wins it clean to Duguay. Duguay shot on the empty cage, scores! And Yeomans will go back to her net with 35 seconds to go. Kraken shocking the Flames here. Gonna take a 2-1 lead. On the series. Safe to say, by most accounts, this is goes down as an upset for the Flames. Here's Folks. Folks walks out, tries to fire. Held in at the blue line by Kimball on her knees. Makes his way back to the neutral zone. Folks battling for it against Bex. Bex just going to pin that. And we're down to 4 seconds on the clock, and that's going to do it. Kraken shut out the Flames 2-0 to take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 will be Saturday, March 7th at the Q-Plex, where the Kraken will look to seal the game, or seal the series with their 2-1 lead now. And that's the end of this one. And we will join you again next time on High Button Sports. Thanks for joining, everybody.